In 2015, my wife Sandy and I went for our annual physical to the doctor. During that appointment, they would do a baseline x-ray of Sandy's lungs as a part of her physical. I would go in next, and then while I was in the room, they came and asked that the doctor wanted to see Sandy and I in his office. My blood ran cold as I questioned what can be going on and what could happen that the doctor would want to see us in his office. He would have x-rays up on the screen, and he would begin to show us that there were spots and cloudiness all over her lungs. He said, "I don't want you to be alarmed. It could be an infection, it could be inflammation, or it could be cancer." He said, "So we need to research a little more. We need to do a CAT scan of her body." And so they did a CAT scan, and during that scan, they found that there were spots on her liver. The next day, he would send us for a liver biopsy, and we would find out that it was not good. We would begin our journey and move forward with treatment. And during those treatments, we would drive back and forth to Nashville. And one day, sitting in the treatment room, I was sitting beside Sandy in the caregiver chair, and I noticed that she took a picture of her shoes and she began to write on her iPad. And then she would post a post on Facebook about those shoes and about what her thoughts were that day. She captioned that post, "These are my happy shoes of the day." She would write about the color, the texture, and the aspects of the shoe. It would be personal, spiritual, and inspirational. And as she wrote about those, people read about them each week that she would go to treatment, and they were inspired by them. They encouraged her, and they sent her shoes, and they said, "Please write again." So she wrote these stories, and she would post them on Facebook. And one day we thought, while driving to Nashville, that we needed other people to be inspired by this, and it would be so great if somehow that we can get them in the hands of other people. And we said, what if we take your writings and put them into a book, and we give them to cancer patients at the treatment centers when we go? So we asked the doctor, if we do this, would you allow us to give them away? And she said, absolutely, we would love for you to give those away. And so we began that process. And after 20 months and 2 days of going through treatment and diagnosis of cancer, Sandy transitioned to heaven. And we were left with a thought, and we were left with an idea, and what do we do with it? And today, we have a 501c3 public charity that we give back to cancer patients. It is called the Happy Shoes Project, and our mission is to inspire cancer patients to keep walking on their journey through treatment. Well, what started out with a book, and then I thought I would give a CD, and then it hit me, she's writing about her shoes, we should give shoes away. So we began to put together our thoughts, and we thought if we've got all these things, then we need something to put them in. And now we have all the pieces put together for our tote program to give back to cancer patients here in the Chattanooga region.
In the face of a battle with colon cancer and lengthy treatments, Sandy Salmon shared her hope and light with others through her words. With her feet propped up and her tablet in hand, Sandy snapped a photo of her happy shoes and began writing her story. For nearly 2 years, Sandy used her happy shoes and her words as a way to lift up her joy, frustrations, faith, and inspiration to the world until her passing in April 2017.
Sandy got up every day, whether she felt like it or not. She got up and she kept walking. We want to honor her memory with the Happy Shoes Project. The Happy Shoes Project inspires cancer patients to keep walking with encouragement, support, and inspiration.
We distribute totes to adults and backpacks to kids that are filled with various items to help cancer treatment be more comfortable and positive for the patients. The tote actually just helps open the door for us to provide additional emotional, spiritual, and even physical support that we encounter when we deliver the shoes to their door in person.
Since 2018, the Happy Shoes Project has given away totes to nearly 3,000 cancer patients.
We rely on the support of the community to help make this project a success. Part of that comes from volunteers. We have an amazing group of volunteers who not only help us pack totes, but they donate their time to physically deliver the shoes to patients' homes. And it's in that instance that they take time to have a personal visit with the patient, to hear their story, to pray with them, just to inspire them face to face.
This is Addie Jane, and this is Sandy's grandbaby. Say my grandmother has gone to heaven, but say I'm here tonight giving and being a part of Happy Shoes too. But Rick and I have been part of Happy Shoes all the way back to before it was even established. It was in Sandy's heart. And so I'm honored to get to be here. I feel very privileged to get to go out and meet people who are hurting and struggling. Rick and I went Sunday, and it's so encouraging because people are hurting and they just want someone to talk to them and encourage them in the Lord. And I feel very honored that I can spend a few moments of my time in life and encourage someone to keep marching, to keep moving, to have hope for the future, and to believe that God's able to do. He's able to make miracles happen in people's lives, and so I feel very honored to be a part of Happy Shoes.
In today's society where cell phones, texting, emails, and the digital world has taken over communications, there's nothing more exciting and more touching than to give the physical gift of a tote to someone who needs it the most. Watching them when they open the tote and see the throw, the book, the CD, and all the little items that are in the tote is so encouraging to them. And then the written note that we put in there to personalize our gift. It is just a light bulb that goes off in the heart and the mind and the life of those who are walking through cancer.
There's a lot of people out there that are affected by cancer, and there's a lot of organizations that are trying to help us make the best of it. One thing I would say is that when you're going through a really tough time, that it does help to know that there's people out there that are thoughtful and want to help you get through the tough time that you're going through. Because it's something that nobody ever thinks that they're going to have to deal with. And it really meant a lot to me. It brightened my day to just be able just to even go through. And I know that there were coloring books in there, and markers and things like that kind of helps to release some of the stress that you're going through.
Over the course of the next year, we're excited for the Happy Shoes project to expand into even more hospitals and cancer treatment centers in the Chattanooga area. We are also excited to announce the launch of a children's program in which children with cancer will receive a backpack filled with a Happy Shoes illustrated book, a companion coloring book, and various resources so that they too can be inspired to keep walking. We know that adults are not the only ones who suffer from this disease, and that hope and kindness come in all shapes and sizes.
My name's Gregory Sutton. I'm a medical oncologist at Tennessee Oncology, and what really sets Happy Shoes apart is the fact that it's, we have the totes, we have the system works. I was telling a colleague that this is the real deal. Like, patients are coming in and they're able to hold the tote at their first treatment, get the shoes, and we see them wearing them. We see it actually working in the clinic, and the looks on their face, the thanks that we get is just, there's no measurement to that.
My name's Jim Markley. I'm a partner at Sockwell, and as a company, we love to partner with people that are trying to do some very good things within the community. When you sit down and meet people and you find out what's in their heart, and you just sit there and say, wow, this is something that we want to be involved in, and the story behind it with his wife, and it really means something to him personally, and obviously it's a little emotional for me. My mother-in-law passed away from breast cancer, which was a pretty tough deal, and we just decided we had to get involved.
I'm John Boxell, retired physician. I've been part of the cancer program at CHI Memorial. serving as a physician advisor to cancer services. I think Happy Shoes presents a unique value in regards to personalization of their sharing of love. I would say the separation is willingness to be part of a life which inspires the cancer patient with hope and shares the love with them. So it's personalization of support through a very difficult and unknown path for their future.
In 2022, our goal is to serve over 8,000 cancer patients with totes and backpacks filled with resources that will inspire them to put on their happy shoes and keep walking.
What do you do when you're walking through a process of healing? You keep walking, moving forward each day in faith, one step at a time.